And it is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdol. And as I'm looking at my calendar and figuring things out, I've been doing this from home now for close to a year. Based on my calculations, episode 600 is 2 months away. What does that mean right now? I don't know, but I need to start planning, and I want to do something cool. It's been such a weird, messed up year. I definitely want to do something cool for episode 600. We'll see what that turns into. Looking ahead, much sooner on Car Con Carne, within the next week, one of the biggest newsmakers of the year, no exaggeration, will be on this show. That's all I can say at this point, but truly one of the most newsworthy people of the past year will be on next week. Sooner than that, more immediately, I have Matt and Lizzy. They are Fairview. Here they are.
Hey.
1 million plus spins on Spotify later. Here they are. It's Fairview on Car Con Carne. Things are in a good spot for you and your music. Sweet, breezy pop music, which clearly is the product of a happy relationship. Fair to say.
Some of the songs are, some of the songs aren't.
Well, I was going to say, everything seems really bright and cheery for you. Like, if you were to put out an emo song or a metal song, then I'd think, well, that's the red flag. Things are going south for the two of them. Fairview's taking a turn. But I mean, you see, I mean, watching the video, you just did the new video for Loving You Hurts. It's a cute little relationship video. I mean, I love you too, just watching you too.
Thank you. Well, yeah, that one was fun to film. There's parts where we have to fight and we have to act like we don't like each other. And that was kind of hard. Like, we posted some of the behind the scenes stuff, and some of our conversations were just like teasing each other and like, but nothing like very serious, but we had to act like super mad at each other. And that was fun.
And I would say we are in a good, healthy, stable relationship.
Good.
But you've got to still write songs, right? You can't have all songs about like being in love. I feel like people would get sick of you very quickly if that's all you wrote about. So got to do a little both.
It's also fun to write some stuff that's like not about us. You know, it's like, it's really fun to write songs about each other and about our lives and stuff, but it's fun to just tell stories and create different things, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, the songs that are about you, I mean, in some respects, you are the living, breathing version of the heart eyes emoji.
Love that. That should be our new bio.
So you did a lyric video. Loving You Hurts is not a new song. This was a single for a little bit, but this video is brand new. Is this kind of like a relaunching or a reintroduction of the song?
Sure. So yeah, we released the lyric video the summer before the pandemic happened. So I guess that's 2019. And then the first month of 2020, we actually flew out to LA and we filmed the Loving You Hurts music video. So we didn't know anything that was going to happen in 2020. We had big plans for the song to kind of have it be that relaunch. I guess at that point it had already been like 5 months since we released it, but we had plans to put it out beginning of 2020. And then obviously there was some changes to our plans in 2020. We ended up holding on to the video and just put it out just now. So, I mean, I guess kind of it's a relaunch, but that wasn't our intentions when we made the video, but it's kind of helped the life of that song, and we love that song. So
how did you spend your time sequestered for the past year? Were you doing a lot of writing together?
You know, it's been tough. It was tough, especially at first writing, because we weren't really doing anything. You know, it's like we're all just staying inside. We're not going out and having these experiences and stuff. So it was a lot of like just hanging out, binge watching like The Office, and we started watching like Survivor and some of these other shows. And then we got really into TikTok. And I don't know if you've spent any time on TikTok, but there's a rabbit hole you can go down there. And especially as a couple, it's been fun. And, you know, we ended up getting some followers and stuff. So we've just been having a lot of fun doing that. And we're starting to get back in the writing mode. Lizzy actually just bought me for Valentine's Day this rhyming dictionary, which I listen to a lot of podcasts like yours. And there was this songwriter named Tim Rice who's written a lot of just hit songs. Sure. And he was talking about a rhyming dictionary. So we're locked and loaded and ready to write some hits now.
Or if you don't write some hits, just write some limericks.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Just take a turn for Fairview. Maybe some naughty limericks. You put some words together. You got your dictionary. For people who don't know Fairview, a little bit of background. You've known each other since middle school?
We have, yeah. We knew each other when we were really young, we probably don't remember the first time we met because we went to the same preschool through 8th grade school.
He was a year older than me, so we weren't technically in the same class, but our school was super small. It was like a private Catholic school, and there was probably 20 kids per grade. So like all of the grades would kind of get to know each other. And then like when we started kind of having friend nights at the movies, whatever, like multiple grades would be invited. And
yeah,
so
when you get to middle school and that kind of environment, it's like, you know, you start switching classes and you have recess together and stuff like that. So that's when we really started to get to know each other in middle school.
So, okay, I guess this is a two-part question. When did Matt and Lizzy become a thing? And when did Matt and Lizzy, the songwriting team, become a thing?
Sure.
Kind of simultaneously. I always say that I had to start a band to get her to go out with me. You know, I had to like start a band and be like, hey, why don't you come join my band? And then, but we started dating in high school, and we were at first we were just playing covers in our friend's like basement with a bunch of high school friends that played instruments and played music.
Stop right there. What kind of covers were you doing?
We did a lot of stuff. Lizzy was actually in a band in 8th grade / freshman year, maybe.
No.
And they did.
It was like 7th, 8th grade, and we were like
they were alternative.
All of my friends were into like more of that metal music, so I was like, sure, let's do it. Like I was the singer, and that's the kind of music like they liked, so I would listen to it too.
Avenged Sevenfold, Green Day,
the whole thing, the whole shebang. I was more of a Taylor Swift girl myself, but like, hey, I'll sing the songs at the talent show. So yeah, so in high school is when we kind of, our friend group kind of started singing, I guess like what, All Time Low.
Yeah, we played all kinds of stuff. Like yeah, All Time Low. We did some older songs like Can't Help Falling in Love, and we did some Plain White T's covers and just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Plain White T's. Whatever happened to that band?
I don't know. You know, I hear the lead singer is a real jerk though.
I've heard the same thing. All right. So Tom Higgenson of Plain White T's he is, I guess, a mentor. He is your label operator. Humans Were Here. Yep. He has really been a big help, big advocate, big cheerleader for Fairview from the get-go. You are the first band on his label?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, Tom's been awesome for us, and a mentor sums it up pretty well. I actually used to work at a grocery store in the area, and he would come in when I was in high school, like end of high school. I worked in this grocery store, and he would come in, and I would kind of freak out when he'd come into my line, and I'd be like bagging his groceries and stuff. And then I'd tell him about the band that I was in, and you know, we were big fans and stuff, and hey, you should check out our music sometime.
Yeah, were you kind of sheepish about it? Like, okay, I'm gonna go for it now. I'm gonna tell Tom.
I was like, couldn't contain myself. I was a huge Plain White T's fan. I remember
we really were. Like, we would go to concerts, we would play their covers. So like we found out that oh my gosh, they're from the same areas as us, like same suburbs. How crazy. You know? I
remember being in line, being the cashier once, and he was in line, and there was this older lady behind him in line. She was probably like 70 something, and I start freaking out like a total nerd, and I'm like, oh my gosh, ma'am, do you know who this is? Like, and he's like, I'm like, ma'am, have you heard the song Hey There Delilah? He's like, she doesn't know that song, and she probably didn't. She was like, 70 or something, but it was awesome.
Although I think at this point everyone has heard Hey There Delilah.
I think so. I'm sure she heard it. Maybe she didn't know she'd heard it, but she heard it.
She was freaking out internally.
Exactly.
So yeah, from there it just it developed into, he finally listened to one of our songs after I stopped working there, and he tweeted us that he really liked the song that he heard and we should write together sometime. So Lizzy and I went over for a writing session with him, and we all
okay, go slower here, because you talked about what unabashed fans you were. He tweets at you and says we should write together. I mean, at that point, did you flip out like, our plan worked? Like, I can't believe
100%,
it.
yes. I think like, so we had put out like a music video that we made with like some of our friends, but it was actually like it was pretty good.
They were really talented filmmakers.
They were really talented, had good cameras. So we put all our energy into like making this music video, and we would, go into the studio, and we recorded this like pretty acoustic, stripped down song and made a music video for it, and kind of just sent it right out to him like via social media, like, hey, if you have a chance, like check this out. And I don't know, he must have like seen that and followed us on Twitter or whatever first, and kind of would like some of our
Yeah, but when he tweeted about the video and that he loved the song and stuff, we were freaking out. And we were like,
100%. Yeah.
It's great. And then he like sent us his email to like hit him up about writing together or something. And then we went to like one of their early morning radio shows. And it was just like this whole cycle, like looking back now we write songs with him and he reaches out to people on our behalf. And like you said, he's kind of like the biggest cheerleader for our band. And it's like looking back, like if we would have told our high school selves that would be the case, they would be like, no way, wouldn't believe us.
And that all was like over the course of probably 3 years, right? Because by the time, you worked sophomore in high school, junior in high school as a cashier, and then like that didn't happen until like 2-3 years later. So it was a good chain of events.
Tom is one of the nicest dudes I've met in music. He's a Midwestern guy. He got to where he is by working hard, Midwestern work ethic, not being a dick. Good person to ally yourself with.
For sure. We learn a lot from him, especially with the time that he takes to talk to fans after shows, and when they meet him and stuff. It's like it's cool. He has a lot of patience, and we've kind of learned a lot.
All right, so where does that leave you moving forward? I know you did the EP a couple years ago. Love the title track of Our Little Secret.
Thank you.
What are you kind of singles focused right now? Is that kind of where your head's at? Yeah.
So I guess last year we really didn't get in the studio at all because we didn't want to, get in the room with the producers and stuff. Yeah. While everything was crazy and nobody knew what was going on. So we kind of took a lot of last year off as far as recording. But before that, we were putting out for the last like 5 or 6 months of 2019, we were putting out like a new single every month or every 6 weeks. But this year we want to get in the studio and do a full length album around 10, 11 songs is going to be the goal.
So will you take some of the stuff you've already put out there, or you want to start fresh with a totally new album concept?
I think we're going to take a few of the songs that have done well, that seem to connect with people, and put them on there, like 2 or 3 maybe, and then have a bunch of new stuff.
And the one, obviously, I hate even bringing this up with the band, the one big problem or unfortunate situation of the past years, you haven't been able to tour. And you certainly were getting that engine revved up in a big way when you toured with Plain White Tees. You had a lot of momentum, and it sucks to have to kind of be sidelined. But I like the fact that you're throwing yourself into recording and planning ahead. And that's just where we're at right now. That's life in a pandemic.
Totally.
It's crazy. It's nuts. We did the last couple of shows we did were awesome too. We did a holiday, like Christmas show with a band called Sister Hazel at the House of Blues in Chicago.
You know what their fans are called, right?
Hazelnuts.
Okay. Hazelnuts.
We've come to know some hazelnuts.
Yeah, we got to tour with them a little bit last year, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, the Hazelnuts, they love Sister Hazel. And we did a show with American authors and Magic Giant in like January, and then it was like nothing, and it sucks not being able to go out and travel and play the music and stuff. But social media has been nice where we can still kind of connect with people. We've done a few online concerts, on YouTube Live and stuff, with like private links. So we try to make the most of it and still try to connect with people.
Yeah. And I think that like before, obviously the pandemic happened, so much of our focus was like, okay, let's submit for this tour. What's the latest? Okay, let's submit for these 5. And like taking the pressure off of that, while it does suck, because that's like one of the best parts of being a musician, it's kind of cool that we were able to kind of put the focus on like building some of those numbers, building a following on TikTok to a whole new, crowd of people who haven't seen us yet. So, I mean, silver lining is that we've gotten to have these other cool connections happen, but of course we do miss it. But
yeah, I mean, building community is a big part of what an artist does. And I think I've seen it. I've seen you throw yourself into this and really make yourself available. And when you do go back on the road, that community will be there for you. You're doing all the right stuff.
Thank you. You would know. You've been in the game. These guys all tell us, the guys at Humans Were Here, Dan Monahan produces a lot of our stuff from The Dog and everything. And, him and Tom talk about how you were playing their song before anybody else was playing their song on the radio. And it's cool, man. We feel honored to be on the pod with you and to be on your show last week.
On Demo 312 on 101 WKQX. In fact, that song I played, Loving You Hurts, will be heard again this coming Sunday night. So if you're listening or watching on February 16th, this coming Sunday, you can hear it again. But sooner than that, just watch the damn video. It's up there on YouTube. Just released it. Get the visuals. Get much more to gain from watching the video than just hearing me talk about the song. So, all right, Matt and Lizzy, you are Fairview. You're busy. You're staying at it. I think you have the right sound. You know, it's interesting. We're rolling off this year that no secret was a dumpster fire for so many of us. I hear your music, and it's bright, it's positive, even when you're talking about things that may not be going right for yourselves. It just feels optimistic listening to you, and I think, you know, we could all use that at this point in our shared history together.
So yeah, if we can convey that sense, that, you know, that's great. We've had a few people say, you know, after a long day or something, they'll turn this on in the car home, and that's like what it's all about for us as artists, you know, being able to help people get through times like this. If our music helps them in any way, that's awesome. So thanks.
I love it. All right. So to hear you, see you, etc., what do you have, like a link tree or a place we should send people?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Fairview Official. We're on Spotify under Fairview, and on TikTok as at Fairview Official. So we've got links to all that stuff from Instagram.
So,
well.
And now that you're over 1 million spins on Spotify, I think you may be the first Chicago artist to earn more than $5 on Spotify. So congratulations.
Yes.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you. You know, it must have been the radio show getting us spins.
That's it.
That's it. You know what's awesome is that we thought for some reason that the show started at 11 o'clock. I think Tom told us that, or there was some kind of miscommunication. So I'm driving home after the Super Bowl. I was out like picking up some food and driving home. And all of a sudden I hear you start talking on the radio about Fairview. And I'm like, oh my God, are we about to be on the radio? I thought this, you know, and so I called Lizzy, and her car was sitting in the driveway all day, 0-degree day, as you know, it was freezing last Sunday. And I'm like, yo, we're on the radio right now. Like, go out to your car, turn it on.
So I run out. I have no coat. Like, my shoes aren't even on all the way.
I love it.
And like, we're big fans of That Thing You Do, like one of my favorite movies. And so it was a scene right out of it.
It was an awesome moment. You know, thank you for giving that to us, our first time on the radio. And it was just so fun.
Wait, are you serious? That was your first time being played on the radio?
That was our first time on like a real radio station. We've been on like some little, you know, online stuff for college radio, but that was like the first real deal.
Wow. You. Oh, that's that. Well, gosh, I'm really glad to be part of that. That's super cool.
Yeah, thank you. It was such a fun moment.
And I got to tell you, the second time is going to be even better.
I can't wait. We'll be together this time.
Maybe we'll be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Put on some shoes this time, perhaps.
I will, and a coat.
All right. Matt and Lizzy, thank you for doing